Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar by Mirimichi Green. I'm Alex Mulaski, and on behalf of Mirimichi Green, thank you for joining us. Because we have a lot of folks on the call today, we ask that you keep your microphones muted and type any questions or comments you may have during the webinar into the Q&A feature. At the end of the session, we'll do our best to answer as many questions as possible, but before we get started, let me do a brief introduction of today's webinar, Mirimichi Green, and today's co-hosts. Next slide, please. As you should know, today's webinar will address professional pest control for landscapers. In this webinar, we'll look at the benefits of Mirimichi Green's all-natural pest control, how it compares to traditional pesticides and other natural pest control products, and review test data and application information. Next slide, please. At Mirimichi Green, we offer products that improve plant health while reducing the long-term costs for landscapers and property managers. We strive to manufacture products for all aspects of landscape management. Next. Our products are used by professionals for landscaping, sports fields, golf courses, equestrian courses, campuses, parks, and of course, yards across America. Next, please. You may notice some notable logos here, and we hope to add yours to the list. Next, please. Today's webinar is presented by John Tomiski. I'm your co-host, Alex Mulaski. I'm the Director of Marketing and Product Registration at Mirimichi Green. So again, thank you for joining us during your busy workday. And without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to John Tomiski, the expert on our pest control, so he can introduce himself.
Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome and thank you for dialing into our webinar today. My name is John Tomiski and I'm a Territory Manager for Mirimichi Green. There's a QR code over here to the right of the screen. If anyone wants to scan my contact info and save it into your phone. By the end of our time today, my goal is to help you all feel more comfortable and confident about Mirimichi Green Pest Control. And like Alex mentioned, there'll be an opportunity to ask questions at the end. So I encourage you to bring any inquiries to the table and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. So we'll jump in this and get started. So Mirimichi Green Pest Control, it's a FIFRA 25B exempt product that works as the adulticide, pheromone interrupter, deterrent, repellent, and it kills the larvae at all stages of the life cycle. By killing the larvae, egg cycles are disrupted, so future outbreaks of pests are eradicated in the treated areas over time. Our pest control is known to be safe to spray around people, pets, and plants when used as directed. And there's an immediate reentry time after the spray is settled, making it ideal for any outdoor area. In our formula, it has no offensive odor. It actually has a mild citrus scent to it that homeowners and applicators appreciate. And it has a protection period for 14 to 28 days. Many customers have informed me that one of the reasons they prefer our product is because the scent doesn't stay on them like other products normally would. So folks will often ask what FIFRA 25B exempt means. Chemical products containing active and inert ingredients considered minimum risk are registered under Section 25B of FIFRA. Because the EPA has determined that certain minimum risk pesticides pose little to no risk to human health or the environment, the EPA has exempted them from the requirement that they be EPA registered. So professionals can use this highly effective product to control an assortment of insects in a safer, greener way. With it being a FIFRA 25B product, I will note that you don't need a special license to apply the product. So our product controls a wide range of targeted pests listed on the screen. It works great on ticks and mosquitoes. We actually have some studies to show you further in the presentation. It's also effective on ants, roaches, no-see-ums, chinch bugs, white flies, aphids, and fleas. So here's some of the key benefits. Again, it's made from natural ingredients. The product is not a neurotoxin, but it has the same results as a neurotoxin. It's okay to spray around people, pets, and plants. It kills pests and larvae on contact for all stages of the life cycle. Bugs do not become immune to this product. Reason being, it has three essential oils, minimizing the chances of resistance. There's immediate reentry time after drying. and rainfall does not affect the efficacy. Next is the benefits of the natural ingredients, but first we'll go over the guaranteed analysis. So it has lemongrass oil in there. It has geraniol, sodium lauryl sulfate, castor oil, and cedarwood oil. Those are the active ingredients. And then the inert ingredients are soap, water, monolaurin, oleic acid, and carbon. So in a slide coming up, I'll explain the role they play. And here's some of the ingredient benefits. Natural pest control options offer several benefits over traditional chemical pest control methods. One being it's safer for human and animals. So it being non-toxic is important to a lot of people when deciding how they want to control the pests on their property. It's environmentally friendly, sustainable, and most importantly, it's effective. So organic pest control methods are just as effective as chemical methods. Organic options focus on preventing pest infestations from occurring in the first place. And they're also affordable. All natural pest controls involve a combination of preventative measures which reduce the need for costly chemical treatments. This past year, I had a customer actually inform me that he had less callbacks using our pest control versus the properties where he used synthetic pest controls. And then here are the ingredients. So castor oil. Castor oil is probably the most important ingredient. It's an emulsifier for the other actives. So it basically holds everything together. It disrupts the cell membrane, leading to suffocation of target. So this is castor oil kills through the respiratory system. Geraniol exhibits insecticidal and repellent properties. It also works as a surfactant. Lemongrass oil. This is the scent that you'll smell. Again, it has that mild citrus scent to it. This will inhibit the development of pests. Cedarwood oil acts as a repellent and a natural surfactant. Sodium lauryl sulfate employs a non-toxic mode of action in controlling mosquitoes, fleas, and ticks. And lastly, oleic acid, which is a niche feature. Most insects actually emit oleic acid upon death. So having this ingredient in the formula signals a colony collapse to the pests, which makes it a pheromone interrupter and a deterrent. So this slide shows product comparison versus our Mirimichi Green pest control, other organic pest controls, and traditional pest controls. So it has 3 essential oils: the castorwood oil, cedarwood oil, and lemongrass oil. It's all natural. It uses 3 modes of action. It kills, repels, and it's a pheromone interrupter. It's rain resistant, safe to spray on and around all outdoor furniture and home areas. And it contains liquid carbon. This helps implode the pests and facilitate ground penetration. So if you look to the right in the other columns, you can see where the other pest controls fall short. I will say one thing to point out is that traditional pest controls work great for killing the insect, but it doesn't work as a repellent or a pheromone interrupter. There's a lot of environmental conditions that pest controls cannot predict. However, I can say you'll be putting your best foot forward in controlling the pest population at your given property when using Mirimichi Green pest control. And now we're going to get into some test data and university data. So Mirimichi Green's pest control was tested by standards set by the World Health Organization at CTOX lab. The test revealed an 80% kill rate for pests and larvae in a 24-hour period. Efficacy on ticks and mosquito populations have been tested at Mississippi State University, proving total control, repel, deter, and kill. Other targeted pests have been tested in controlled test plots and environments. So this is kind of a breakdown of the study. There's a lot to digest here, but this Mississippi State University trial conducted two tests on the yellow fever mosquito over a 4-week period. 5 products were tested: Essential IC3, American Hydro Nature Shield, Mosquito Free, which is a cedarcide, our Mirimichi Green Pest Control, and bifenthrin. All products were used at the recommended label rates. And on this next slide, we're going to show results from both the repel and the kill test. Trial 1 is the repel test, and trial 2 is the kill test. So repel test 1 right here. This is a pretty telling study. Our Mirimichi Green Pest Control product 4, which is highlighted right here, led in control and residual after every week in the duration of the 4-week trial. Essential IC3 was the next closest, but Mirimichi Green Pest Control still had the same control at 4 weeks. 15 of the 25 mosquitoes were repelled that Essential IC3 had at 2 weeks. Come week 3, the repellent aspect really fell off with the other products used in this study. Our pest control stood its ground for all 4 weeks. And I will point out that bifenthrin, which is product 5 over here, was only useful as a kill product. And the second study here was the kill test. As expected, bifenthrin was the most effective for kill, but Mirimichi Green Pest Control held its own and was not too far behind. The other 3 organic pest controls weren't really in the same ballpark as far as a kill rate. So not only is our product a repellent and a deterrent, but it has a significant kill rate. Matter of fact, on week 2, we had the same percentage of mosquitoes killed, 20 out of 25, that bifenthrin had in week 2. So here's another study that was done. This was the effects of 8 ounces per gallon of Mirimichi Green Pest Control on populations of mosquitoes in insect nets over a 24-hour period. The results are pretty self-explanatory and quite impressive. After just 1 hour, the mosquito population were completely killed. There are not too many organic options that have an immediate kill rate like ours does. And this other study here was, again, same idea, the effects of 8 ounces per gallon of Mirimichi Green Pest Control on 2 forms of tick species when applied to insect nets in a greenhouse controlled environment. After 1 hour, 75% of the ticks were killed. After 2 hours, around 90% of the tick population was killed, and close to 100% after 24 hours. So again, not only is Mirimichi Green Pest Control effective on mosquitoes, but it is quite effective on ticks and other pests. And then we're going to get into some applications and rates. So we usually suggest 4 to 8 ounces per gallon of water. And there's different types of equipment you can use. So I usually tell applicators a lighter rate at the beginning of the year before pests have fully emerged. So probably 4 to 6 ounces to start the season. Then at the heavier rate, once the season is in full swing, so kind of zap them at 8 ounces during the prime of the season. And then towards the tail end of the season, you could bring it down to 4 to 6 ounces per gallon. Once you have the initial infestation rate taken care of, you only have to reapply every 3 to 4 weeks. And there's several size options available for our pest control, including 1 gallon and 2.5 gallon jugs. There's also a 30 and a 55 gallon drum. And there's also a 275 gallon tote. Obviously, based on your business and the large size operations may be more beneficial and convenient. So here's a way to apply pest control in general. This is a steel backpack fogger / sprayer. a lot of professionals will use this type of equipment to spray. It's a 3.7 gallon tank and it delivers a large spraying range. I will point out that it's important to spray the perimeter of the property you're treating, like wooded areas, foundation of a house or building, shrubs, points of entry, and even any piles of, say, grass clippings where pests may thrive in. This is a quick video of a professional applying Mirimichi Green pest control to some tree foliage. And this is a video of a tank sprayer. Another way to apply Mirimichi Green pest control or pest control in general. And this applicator is spraying some foliage. And lastly, this is a video of an applicator spraying the perimeter of the property using a steel backpack fogger. Again, it's important to spray the barrier of the property, any shrubs, trees, and grass clippings. And then we're going to leave room for questions here, but we figured we'd create a slide for frequently asked questions we get from the field. First one being is, how long do I wait before letting people or animals re-enter the treated area? Always let the product completely dry before letting people and pets re-enter the treated area. Can it be used indoors? No, it's only intended for outdoor use. What personal protective equipment is required to apply the pest control? We recommend glasses and a mask to protect you from inhalation or direct eye contact. Does it harm pollinators? It will not harm pollinators if they enter a landscape that has been treated. However, pollinators and hives should never be sprayed directly with the product. What does it smell like? Does it smell like any harsh pesticides? It has no offensive odors. Again, it has a mild citrus scent to it. And can it be used on vegetables and gardens? No, we do not advise using this on anything edible due to certain oils in the formula. And now we're gonna open it up for questions if anyone may have any.
Yep, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the Q&A section and we'll cover them. A couple that have come in are the application says that it targets ants. Is it a specific type of ant or all ants in general?
All ants in general. Like I said, it works very well on, and obviously there's different types of ants throughout the country, but it's very effective on, all different regions.
The other question was, do I need to use a surfactant when applying this product?
Yeah, it's a good question. Some applicators will. It definitely doesn't. Rain doesn't affect the efficacy of the product, but there are some applicators that definitely use that just to get some more control. And so, yeah, that's definitely an option. It's just totally up to the applicator.
Awesome. We'll hang on the line for a couple more questions. If anyone has anything, you feel free to type it in.
This is also, you can also use this product. I know this has been asked in the past on other webinars. You can mix this product with other organic pesticides if you choose to do so, or even a traditional synthetic pesticide. But I will say, just by working with the applicators in the past, they do get great control just using it as a standalone product. But I will point out that it can be mixed as a concoction with other traditional pest controls and other organic pest controls.
All right, looks like that is all of the questions that have come through. So thank you again for joining the webinar, and we'll be sending this out shortly. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.